Hi, welcome back. It's Laura at Hyperstamper. This is I'm going to call it a giant journal. It's really very big. Let me just see here. It is 8 3/4 by 10 1/2. That is a large junk journal, especially when you're using only authentic antique and vintage ephemera and antique books. Nothing in here is commercial. So this is not going to go in my Etsy shop because this is a custom order. I saw this book and it had purple irises on it, and I have a wonderful, wonderful woman who loves purple irises. I just found that out. So when I saw this book, I took a chance that she would want a journal made out of it, and she did. And she especially likes these giant ones. So let me show you what I've done with this for her. I've added all of these beautiful vintage purple and beige and black beads to match the irises. I've put some antique crochet on here with some Chantilly lace, vintage 50-year-old lace there. And the book, I did have to cut the spine off. There was a little bit of damage on it, but it worked because to put the journal on top of this book, it would have been way too tall and you wouldn't have been able to open the larger journal. So basically, this is two journals in one. There's a journal on the front, and then there's the large journal inside where she can do mixed media work as well. So let me show you these two journals. This little beauty here is inscripted in 1907. It was printed in 1905, and it's wonderful. Bertha Edwards was the original owner of this book from England, and Lee said soonest mended. I've just filled it with antique ephemera. That's the original first plate of the book and the original first page of the book. And this is also the contents pages here. And I've just added as many pockets and tucks as I possibly could. And this is the date that it is going into the mail. So I put that in there as well. And then this is from the 1890s here, Demers Family Magazine. And I chose this piece here because it was all florals, which kind of matched the cover nicely. I love this lavender and old lace pages. More pockets here. She's going to have so much fun looking through this. Here is another pocket with antique paper and vintage children's pages here from the 40s. Vintage dictionary pages. This is an antique book page from England. Fuzzy cardstock pages. That is an embroidery page from the 50s. That is from 1905. The Magic Garden, one of my favorite books. There's another original plate from this book. And then this is an art plate. And I'm going to let her know who the artist is. But look at these two pretty little girls. And I love that she has two goddaughters. So that's going to be lovely. And then just a nice little pocket. Like I said, I put as many pockets and tucks in here as I possibly could. Just a little vintage sewing kit here that came in an old vintage sewing box I acquired. And this is from 1950s. Theater Arts Magazine page here. Really fun piece. And this came out of a really cool book, actually. It's the embroidery book, but look at this wonderful font here that you could embroider, and I just love that. Just a really fun antique book page with a mallard duck on it. That is a vintage antiques piece. More ephemera here. 1950s receipt here. 1920s page here, and this is a handwritten in the early 1900s on a 1885 article. Children's book page, and just really fun clusters. And then that is the end page of that top book. So that is the top journal. We call that a peekaboo journal. And then underneath is her big giant journal. So just made this pocket here out of more of that Chantilly lace. And she's gonna love this. It's sort of like Where's Waldo? Find the lady with the muff. First original page of the book. And this is a 1940s Theater Arts Magazine page. It's fantastic. This here is a petite point that I acquired. It was in really rough shape, but I wish I could show you how tiny the stitching is. I was going to glue it down, and then I thought, no, I think it's beautiful on both sides to see the workmanship that went into it. So she might have lots of fun with that. This is from the 1937 field hockey. And then I love this this page spread here. This is from the 1930s Girls Own Annual. So that's a plate from that book. And then I have this vintage crochet embroidery linen here that I attached here. And look at how perfect is that. I think it's awesome. Put a little bit of lace here. Another vintage doily made into a double pocket here. So tag here, here, and this is probably one of my favorite pieces here. This is from 1895, and that is the Youth's Companion. But look, it's just a big spread on spoons and silverware. Look at it. It's fantastic. I love it. And I was thinking, hold on, that I might just do this. How cool is that? So she gets a little silver spoon there. I don't know if it's real silver or not, but I want her to have it. Here is a color plate from Currier and Ives, 1902. That's the Rocky Mountains there. And then on this side, it's this gorgeous plate 39, one of the best ones. Fruit and flowers. Isn't that stunning? Oh, it's absolutely wonderful. This is from a 1939 Birds of America book. Look how wonderful. That's the thrushes. And this is from a 1905, I believe, English garden book, which some of the pages are in here. When we get there, I'll show you. This is the original first page of this large book here. And then this is also the English garden book page there. I used it because it was nice and tall and full of artwork. Thought book. Isn't that cool? This came from a 1932 Paris, France almanac. It got a bit crooked here, but when I tried to fix it, I was worried I would tear it. So I hope that's okay. Full disclosure. And there's the other page from that almanac. Look at this wonderful page. Oh, I love it so much. Another fantastic page from I want to say this one is from also 1895. Look at these women skating. Oh my gosh, I love it so much. Put some antique paper on the back. And then this fabulous double photograph here. On one side, it's 3 girls on a rock. And on this side, it's girls, looks like they're going for a canoe ride. Isn't that fabulous? Some things just never change. Kids in camps, right? Over here is this wonderful 1890s from the Farmer's Almanac, or sorry, in Farm and Field, not Farmer's Almanac. Wonderful bird here, a lyre bird, and that is antique there. This is also Currier and Ives plates from 1902, and they're just lovely. And inside here, I put this wonderful plate from my vintage Birds, Eggs, and Their Nests book. And then this is from the 1938. Sorry, here we go. It's it was a study on botanicals. So I just thought it was fun to have students work there. And this is one of those English garden pages back here. Notes here, English gardening. And then this here, I wanted to give to her because it is an original artwork. And it's signed here by the artist. And I put it in the pocket here with the botanicals from a vintage botanical book. This is the cover of another book that I actually used. I pulled this cloth off of it and I liked it, so I just reused it. This here is just a little pad of paper that I made. That is not vintage, but everything else is antique and vintage. And just a little notepad there. And then over here, we have this wonderful Sweet and Low antique piece here. This is just a little book jacket that she can journal in on top of a vintage dictionary page. Isn't that cool? Short stories and the microscope. And this came from actually this book, one of the back pages. No, sorry, the back page of another book. My apologies. Look at this little blue-gray gnatcatcher. I love it. Birds of America from the 30s. And then these are pressed flowers here. Isn't that wonderful? I quite like that. I was happy with those. Another children's book page here. This is gorgeous. It's on cardboard. It was actually a calendar. And there was a little, you can see the marking down here where the calendar was stapled to it. But I just thought it was wonderful. And this is Sybil. And then here in this pocket, I hope she loves this as much as I loved it. I've had it for a very long time. This little girl here. And this is from, gosh, I want to say it was from It's from the Swan Photography Studio in Buffalo, and it is from the 30s. Isn't that cool? Ben Swan, photographer. And then this is an artist's book here, plate or page. Stamp collector's page, just some fun lace there. This is another plate from an art book. That is a Degas that she can use that to journal on. Some fun images here. Really cool clusters. Another wonderful plate here. That's Algiers. And oh my gosh, just goes and goes. And this, because I know she loves art, is just a really fun piece that she can use, collage with, do anything with. I just didn't want to cut it down. And that is the introduction page of an art book, vintage. And this came from that stamp collector's book. That's why it has the 3 rings on it. And this is a frame here that is very old. It's antique. And she can tuck in a piece of art here that she would like. So there we go. Thanks for sticking with me. It was a lot, but it was 2 journals. So I hope you enjoyed it. And if you would like a custom journal, just email me below. Thanks.